Hey everyone, RemanX here, and I want to go into a couple of things. And this is a big challenge for me to kind of figure out how to make sure that this cheerful celebration is, well, having well wishes for all of us here. And I just want to take a look at how to navigate this as an individual, as an alliance, and try to move forward here. So let's go right into it. We're going to talk about well wishes here, and I think you got to understand something. I just purchased some energy and did some like store refreshes. So, I mean, if you're able to do a certain percentage of cores a day, right, then you're going to hit certain percentage of this milestone. So if the event ends in 20 hours. This is a personal milestone, 5,000 cores a day for a total of what, 3 extra gold materials, some G15 for a total of what, 1.5 over the course of the entire event. Yeah, well, that feels a little bit off. So the good news with that is you don't need to expect that from your alliance. The bad news is, well, you need to have a conversation with your alliance. So we're going to talk about this really quickly. There's a cheerful alliance celebration, and by the way, you can see all those names on there, and it takes a look into all this stuff. And by the way, there's some problems calculating that because some of the previous events currency translated over, and yeah, you were able to hit higher than the cap as a result. So taking a look at this here, there are a lot of decent rewards in here that are eyeballed as some of the top end rewards, and so that's going to cause some havoc. People are going to want these rewards, even though relatively insignificant from some regard here. 5 red random name character, or a 5 elite orb. All these things, a 10 bishop. If these are making an impact on your alliance, you need to figure out how to get there. However, what we did was we came up with a handy dandy sheet. Thank you again for Yuletide to kind of help us navigate through what is literally a frustrating element. And I think the problem with this is probably best stated. I don't have a problem spending cores. I mean, I do this for a living. I play Marvel Strike Force pretty much predominantly as my primary game for a living. So I don't have a problem spending the cores. And through my daily course of action, I was spending cores anyway. It's no surprise I was going to hit whatever I was going to hit, and probably not, not worry about extra spending or whatever unless it was close to another threshold and maybe push up a little bit of core spending. But realistically, guys, it's going to come down to, if you guys take a look at this sheet, you're going to make a copy. Once you make a copy of this sheet, you're going to go and basically work with your alliance, figure out what you want your spending to be. But more importantly, probably for a day, I would just for the first day, take a baseline, see where you guys wind up, what the actual average is. Don't let this dictate how you're changing your alliance here. I think that's the most important foundation of all this, is you have to kind of take a look at, what your alliance is capable of doing. And for the most part, you were already doing the spending as it was, refreshing the store or whatever. If you're in a top 100 alliance, you probably will breeze through some of these. However, I think you need to understand that there's definitely some feels bad man mechanics at work here. So we're going to take a look at this, and we'll take a look, and we have 450 cores. It's 650, right? If you hit 650, you'll be able to hit the maximum total rewards, and that's divided by everyone in your alliance. So I recommend that. That's still a lot of cores. With a campaign event coming up, I don't want you guys to remember that White Tiger is on the horizon. If you're free to play a light spender, your cores are often best suited using for that. And so if you guys miss out on some of those rewards as a result, that's a bit of a problem there. Let's get into it. So what we thought was probably in the high end of reasonable was the 400 mark. So let's talk about what you get from 400. So if you spend 400 a day as an alliance, which is some of your energy, depending on where you position yourself in arena, as an average, you guys are just going to miss out on that 50 elite. You will miss out on another 100 SBCs and another 18 of the 15 uniques, which is, some of them are valuable because of where they fit into the current progression for your characters. So here's my recommendation: don't do more than you were already doing. Figure out where they get you for a day. Make sure that you guys have a pulse about your alliance. I really would hate for this to have an impact on you, that you're actually quitting the game or seeing folks quit the game because of this. But if you are, at this point, I don't know that I can necessarily blame you guys. I don't know if I can say that this doesn't feel bad in that instance, but I really hope you guys take into consideration the fact that for the most part, you were already doing these actions. Stay the course, figure out what your normal actions got you, and then don't hold the people accountable. That's my biggest problem with this, is that there's names on there, and in a current state of the world where 650 cores or more is probably easy for me to spend, well, some of my alliance mates haven't had it as easy. They're going through the COVID world, looking at their job, trying to escape from the everyday that is the world out there, and have found solace in this video game. And unfortunately, you've made them feel like a number today, Scopely. And I think that's the big miss, right? Is at some point when we're feeling like a number, and the people that we surround ourselves can see the numbers that we're putting up, it's going to feel bad, man. So I feel for you guys. I get it. It's every day, and every time that these events come up and you guys see these well wishes, right? There's a lot of times where you guys watch the Kraken spend on those gold promotion credits, and you don't feel bad when they, wail harder and buy these and move on, and you never feel the results of that, right? So this is another one of those scenarios. Go ahead. Let the Kraken spend what they're going to spend and get that extra access. It isn't going to break the game. These 30 gold promotion credits are probably not as valuable as some of the offers that they've spent getting them, 20 a shot here. But that is something you want to take into account, is how much value does it have to you as a person, so that when you do these solo milestones, you're taking into account before you try to, gamble on what the actual resources will be. I want you to take that into account. And I'm exhausted. I mean, I really feel like, with everything going on, this really is just, looking through these, right? So just so you guys know, when we say like 400, you're going to stop right about here. Okay. You're going to miss out on these, which are the bio and mutant, and these, which are tech and skill here. Everything else you're going to get, a pretty decent amount. So figure out what the average, what your alliance is going to be able to get through. Talk with each other. Please don't demand spending. I've already heard the nightmare scenario where people were demanding spending and people simply left the alliances already. I've been able to navigate that through Twitch, and we hope that tomorrow brings some new insight as we take a look at 24 hours of the event and get an idea of what the baseline is. So going forward, guys, remember in the comments over here, we're going to have this sheet for you guys. Make a copy so you guys can input it and share with your alliance. Figure out where you guys want to be, what rewards you guys need, and get through this together, because it's lunacy. Play on words, thinking that you need to spend the 5,000 cores a day to really experience this event. So again, just digesting it was really hard to digest when you're thinking about what the that insight into what the Kraken spend every day. I think is the problem. I think taking a look at the actual rewards from this element of it and seeing, that legitimately 5,000 cores. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I've probably spent that in recent days trying to do the Dark Dimension prep for Dark Dimension 4. So should be no surprise. Maintaining the count, trying to get G15. People are spending that to refresh the stores, buying gold orbs. All these things are part of the core spending, and I think it's just the nature of what we're seeing here is, for the first time, everybody's getting this insight of what everybody else is going to be spending in the alliance. And that is my fear, is that by having that insight, you're going to pit family member or friend against friend. And it's getting really hard to play among friends when now we now know exactly how much they spend. I get it. probably already knew to some degree. But if people had to slow down because of life changes that came down the road because of COVID, this is going to amplify that, and it feels bad. Remember, I do things so you don't have to. I'm going to try to navigate this, see what my alliance is going to do. Remember, I'm not in a Kraken alliance. I am the Kraken in my alliance. There's a big difference between the two. We're going to see how we navigate it tomorrow, and we're going to see how we respond. So check in, guys, tomorrow on Twitch. I'll be going live before whatever the blog post is going to yield, and we'll have some more information going down the road. Love you much.